Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Frederick, Maryland, on the campus of Frederick Community College for this big-time NJCA Region 20 matchup between the Howard Dragons and the host Frederick Cougars. Mark Winkle bringing you the action today alongside my partner, Coach Aaron Barnes of the winning Dragons today. Congratulations on your win today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So first of all, let's talk about that real quick. How are you feeling after that big win?
Oh, I'm feeling good. You know, with us coming off of a loss the other day, I'm glad we were able to get back on the winning track. I thought we played well as a team. You know, Asani Offer played her butt off. And, you know, she's just been consistent for us all year. So I was really happy to see how well she played today.
Yeah, certainly somebody that we mentioned on the broadcast over and over. A 20-20 day, 20 points, 20 rebounds for Asani Offer, star of the game. Let's focus on now the men's side of things. This is a big-time matchup, a long-time rivalry, and you've got a Howard Dragons team who's 7-1 in the region, first place, sitting on top, and then you've got a Frederick Cougars team who's right there, right at the bottom, 4 spots, looking to fight for a spot, trying to get into playoffs. What are you expecting to see out of a big matchup here tonight?
Well, when teams are playing the top gun, they're always going to bring their best shot. Howard's been playing well all year. They play well defensively. They rebound the ball well. Omich Wilson has been really big on the glass and in the paint for them. But I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good match.
Frederick coming off of a 199 loss at Prince George's on Saturday afternoon, a big-time game against a really good Prince George's opponent. For Frederick, we have been told that their star player, Justin Morrissey, number 13, not playing in this game, a big absence for Frederick. When you've got a 22-point-a-game scorer not in there, certainly will affect a huge part of the dynamic of the game. You're talking about a Frederick team that's averaging 85 points per game, but you just lost your biggest scorer. So instead of, for Morrissey, going through a quick starting 5 for the Frederick Cougars, you've got number 3, Jaden Arrington, number 5, Malik Witherspoon, number 10, Richard Burke, getting that starting nod for the missing Morrissey. And then number 12, Terrell Neal, rounded out by number 35, Mike Davis. For Howard, they're starting 5. They've kind of gotten into the rhythm of what's working. It's number 2, Shane Taylor, number 4, Jalen Bowie, number 11, Emmanuel Enriquez, number 12, Omich Wilson, and number 33, Andrew Mills. 4 sophomores in the starting lineup for the Dragons, with Enriquez, the lone starting freshman.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I know Frederick definitely talked about digging in on defense, not having their leading scorer, so we'll see how it works out.
It will be Mills and Davis to start out, and Frederick right away going at it. Quick basket for the Cougars.
Nice play off the tip. They're ready to play.
Mike Davis going in strong as Arrington found him. And Howard now having to get into their half-court offense. Frederick going into 2-3 zone starting out. Taylor from the top of the key looking for Enriquez. Oh my goodness, the alley-oop slam by Emmanuel Enriquez.
Howard's ready to play off the tip as well.
It's a trademark thing of Coach Mike Smelton. He loves doing the alley-oop plays right off the tip. Davis no good, gets his own rebound. Mills blocked it that time, and Howard able to get it.
See if they can execute again here.
Howard running that methodical, slow-paced offense to try to work through the play. Enriquez forced that pass a little bit. Turnover by the Dragons. Going quickly back the other way is Terrell Neal. Neal dribbles into the corner. Man-to-man defense for Howard. Burke. Top of the key. Finds Witherspoon. Burke pulls it in. Omich Wilson blocks that one, gets a tip on it.
Howard did a really good job of keeping the ball on one side of the floor that time.
Bowie wide open, steps into the jump shot, no good. Davis on the rebound. Burke will bring it up for the Cougars. Burke, a pure point guard, had been coming off the bench for the Cougars, getting the starting nod today and is going to run the point. Strong drive there by Neal, no good on that. Mills with another rebound. Going back the other way, Taylor Gives up to Bowie, who's going to dive in, kicks out. Enriquez, wide open three-pointer. Yes, sir. Knocks it down.
Solid defense leading to some good offense. They did a really good job walling up in the paint and not bailing him out, making him have to make a tough shot. And they were able to get the rebound and get out in transition.
Howard ahead 5-2, all 5 points from Enriquez. Cougars looking to answer back. Witherspoon from the top of the key. Wilson right in his face. Davis, not a spot that the Dragons seem to be worried about. Now inside. That shot's going to be missed, tipped around, and it's going to be rebounded by Mills. His 4th rebound already in this game. Bowie back the other way. Enriquez, corner 3. He's feeling it. Emmanuel Enriquez, timeout called by the Cougars.
Yes, that good defense leading to some good things on offense. Enriquez usually not shooting a lot of threes, but he's been ready to shoot tonight so far.
Emmanuel Enriquez comes in the game averaging 11 points a game. To your point, he's only attempted 29 three-pointers all year. He's only made 7 all season, and has just made 2 in the first, 3 minutes of this game.
Yeah, he's playing with some confidence. I think that first basket kind of opened up the rim for him, and he's been taking advantage of it.
Enriquez, a player, he's played in 23 games this year, only starting 9 of them. Has only been really starting games of late, but was originally known as kind of, like in that scoring offensive spark off the bench. Now has earned his spot in the starting lineup, and you can see why so far in this game.
Absolutely. He's usually guarding the other team's best player as well. So he expends a lot of energy on defense, but he's still able to give them some things on offense as well.
So if you're Frederick coming out of the timeout, and now Howard will put in their 1-2-2 full court press just to complicate things a little bit more for the Cougars. Burke able to get through it, picks his head up. Arrington is begging for it on the other side, but stepping out of bounds is Burke. Another good defensive stand for the Dragons. See the Dragons come back the other way. Bowie. Frederick sticking with a zone defense, trying to find a way to slow these Dragons down. Enriquez dishes it down to Wilson. Reverse layup, that's no good. Rebounded by Davis.
Some good screening action against the zone that time. He was able to get into the creases, just couldn't put it in.
Good pump fake, and now puts it up is Neal, and that is good. Terrell Neal gets on the board for the Cougars.
It's a good move, way to stay under control and good footwork on the step through.
Taylor will bring it up for Howard. Now we'll give it up to Bowie. As once again, we see Howard just slow things down. They love to run through their plays all the way through. Wilson gets it at the free throw line, looking to go with it. Now we'll turn towards basket. Blocked by Davis right in his face. Gets his own rebound back, puts it in, and it's good, and the foul.
Way to stay with it. He was really strong with the ball. Took it hard to the basket. He got blocked, but he stayed with the play and was able to finish through the contact for the and one. Really nice play by Omich Wilson.
So Malik Witherspoon is called for the foul, first of the game, as Wilson will look to complete the hoop and harm, but Mills stepped in too early.
I'm sure they'll talk about that on the bus.
I mean, yeah, if you're Omich Wilson, you're like, why are you taking my points away? You can't do that to me.
He was a little too excited for the rebound.
I mean, he's got 4 rebounds right now. Maybe he's trying to make this his rebound day as Mills.
He heard Asani had 20 and 20. He's trying to match
He's trying to match. Yeah, I like that, yeah. Anything you can do, I can do better kind of thing.
Yeah, great defense by Omich Wilson.
Witherspoon misses on that one, and Bowie pulls down the rebound. Frederick struggling from the floor so far in this game. But that's just the trademark defense of Howard. They just love to make teams just look like they are just having a bad night. That's just good defense, though.
Absolutely. Good rebound.
Bowie gets his own rebound on the second chance and puts it in. But if you're Frederick, you're playing a 2-3 defense. You just can't allow that to happen right in the middle of the paint there.
Absolutely. Got to close down that middle and be ready to get the rebound. When they finally miss a shot, you have to get the miss.
Neal, tough one. It's going to be blocked by Wilson. Howard, quick passing up. It's Enriquez. Tried to go up with it, had it blocked away as he was going up.
Great hustle back by Frederick not to give up a basket in transition. They're competing on the defensive end. They're trying to stay in it.
Just can't quite find the offensive rhythm. Howard on the inbound play from underneath the basket. It's going to go to Enriquez at the top of the key. Plenty of time, 21 on the shot clock, so no rush are the Dragons. Howard will likely want to see one of their forwards pop up. And now it's going to be a screen off the ball underneath. It's going to be down to Wilson. He'll never look at the basket, turns and gives it to Taylor instead. Mills dishes that off, and you can hear the Howard coaching staff saying just shoot the ball from that spot.
Yeah, just a little bit too unselfish on that play.
Especially when you're talking about returning All-American Andrew Mills. Not usually one shy about shooting.
Absolutely. He's never seen a shot he didn't like. But to his credit, he makes a lot of them.
That is fair. Burke for the Cougars, trying to see if they can break in through this Howard defense, but they just cannot get inside the perimeter. Witherspoon will pull up. Tough jumper, no good. Referee blew a whistle, but maybe it was an inadvertent whistle. You heard the whistle too, didn't you?
I did.
Usually the referees will at least stop playing to inadvertent whistle and start up, but instead it was just a little stutter step. When Shane Taylor hits one from long range, Howard makes it a 15-4 lead.
Beautiful shot from the lefty. When he's ready to shoot the ball, he's a great shooter.
Neal trying to get through. It's going to be a foul on the floor. And this is one thing I love about the Howard coaching staff. They're up big, but they're still yelling at their team because they knew they broke down defensively there, even on just one play. As we see Frederick making the first sub of the game, as Cole McKeever will come into the game, replacing Burke. And for the Dragons, they will make a substitution as well, as Jaden Johnson comes in, as he will take the point guard duties away from Jalen Bowie. Frederick from underneath the basket, trying an inbound play to look to Davis, but it's going to be stolen away by Omich Wilson. Johnson trying to attack him, lost control of it. Davis steals it away, goes back to Johnson.
Great hustle there by both teams. Howard able to come away with it. Howard's defense has been outstanding. It's hard for Frederick to even get into the paint sometimes.
And again, this is a Frederick team that we talked about averaging 85 points a game. They've got 4 in 7 minutes here.
Yes. Howard really takes a lot of pride in their defense. They understand, if you want to make deep runs in March, you got to be able to defend.
Open look from Arrington there. Nothing wrong with that. He just couldn't make it. Emmanuel Enriquez going the other way. What a play. The football pass from Shane Taylor, put it on a dime, and Howard ahead 17-4.
He's a Ravens fan, so he's been watching Lamar all season. That was his Lamar impression.
He'll be happy to hear that one when he comes back and watches this. Frederick working it through Arrington, trying to back down Enriquez. Good step back jumper from Arrington, but just too strong, rebounded by Wilson.
And there you see Enriquez taking on that matchup. He takes a lot of pride in his defense. I really enjoy watching him play. He plays hard every possession, never taking any plays off.
Arrington averaging 13 points per game, is one of the primary scorers for this team. As that one's stolen away, Johnson forced the pass. McKeever trying to give it up, looking for Neal, and it's going to be deflected out, and it will be Howard ball.
Omich Wilson doing a great job of protecting the paint and protecting the rim.
Couple more substitutions as Ryan Conway and Christian Deem come into the game for Howard. Also joining the game is Ryan Turner, number 0 for Frederick. Saw Omich Wilson play 40 minutes against Montgomery on Friday. I wonder if he'll be asked to do the same thing here. Mills from the top of the key. Shut down, but just gives up to Dean. A little bit of give and go, back to Mills, a little strong off the glass. And Christian Dean did a good job of reading that pass and is able to at least deflect it out and stop the fast break opportunity.
I think Omich Wilson is up to playing another 40 minutes. He's in great condition. And for him to play 40 minutes, he plays hard all 40 of those minutes.
That is certainly his calling card, is just playing hard, playing tough all the time. Davis trying to back down Mills. He'll give it up to McKeever. McKeever now will try to drive baseline. Goes in a circle. Witherspoon wide open from the free throw line. A good look from McKeever to get into wide open Witherspoon.
You think he's old enough to know Steve Nash?
Probably not, honestly. If I had to guess, I'm going to say no, he does not, but you would sure hope so.
That was a good Steve Nash impression, going under the basket like that, keeping his dribble alive, able to find his open teammate.
Conway knocked down on the three-point attempt, and that will see him get a trio of free throw shots after this. call by the referee where it's going to be Ryan Turner getting his first foul of the game. Conway coming in is an 80% free throw shooter. Rattles home the first one.
He's made some big free throws for Howard in some close games this year. Very good at the free throw line.
Conway, this is the second one.
Was that the announcer's jinx?
There you know, you were bound to get it at some point, so might as well get it out of the way early, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan.
Conway lining this one up, this time without Coach Barnes making a prediction on it, and he makes it, so there you go. It was you all along.
I know for next time. If it gets close, I know what not to do.
Howard ahead 19-6, 11 minutes left in this first half. Neal, good spin move, able to put it in, and that is going to be just off the rim, but a foul will be called as Omich Wilson gets the first foul of the game, or excuse me, the second foul of the game against Howard. His first, personal.
Help defense just a little bit late that time.
So Neal to the free throw line. He is a 64% free throw shooter, averaging 14 points per game. Misses the first one. Neal sets for the second one and is able to make that. Conway to bring the ball up for Howard. Howard with 5 out right now. Working it through Wilson. Dean will go in, tough shot in traffic, gets his own rebound, still working through, able to keep control. Good passing around, wide open three-pointer from Johnson, too strong. Wilson with the rebound. Conway from the top of the key, he misses. Dean with the offensive rebound. Howard with multiple chances in this possession.
Great hustle on the O-boards.
And if you're the Frederick coaching staff, you're already down by 12, and now you can't get a defensive rebound, man. You must be just losing your mind right now.
Absolutely.
Johnson able to drive in. Oh, that almost should have been goaltending with the player putting his hand through the net. Cougars catch a break there. McKeever will pull up for the jumper. That's no good. And it's going to be rebounded by Wilson. Howard has numbers going forward. Johnson will just take it himself. And one, puts it in. McKeever will be called for the foul. And a strong drive in by Johnson.
Great outlet pass to get that fast break jump started. It was a pass on the dime, and Christian Dean running the floor with him. Kind of drew a little bit of defense and gave an open lane for Jaden to get to the rim.
Jaden Johnson, one of those players where he's had an up and down season, has had spurts where he's really been strong, had a little bit of an injury early in the season, came back from it. But you're talking about the Prince George's County High School Player of the Year. You know you're going to get some good basketball out of him, especially as we go down the stretch. They're going to need more and more from him.
Absolutely. Good to see him back out there after his injury.
This is Nate Owusu, who just came into the game for the Cougars. Dishes it out to Turner for 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Dean. They'll find Mills going back the other way. Mills is going to back his man in and took a few too many steps. Trying to make an argument that he had legal footwork, but frankly, from what I saw, I think the referee called that one correctly.
A little bit of a shuffle.
Just a little shuffle. Well, you can tell him that. It wasn't a bad shuffle, it was just a little shuffle. Witherspoon. Good play to work it inside. Frederick moving the ball around well for one of the first times in a while, but Neal just too strong in the pass. Excuse me, on the shot. Follow up that shot, that misses. And it's going to be Owusu who gets his own rebound, and now a foul will be called against Howard.
Frederick giving Howard a little bit of taste of their own medicine that time. They were able to get 3 or 4 offensive rebounds on that one possession.
Howard will switch out their guards as it will be Bowie and Taylor back in with Conway and Johnson going to the bench.
Jalen Bowie, another really good defender for that Howard defense.
Yeah, Howard really relies on him as an on-ball guard. Witherspoon kicks it out to Neal. Neal tries to go inside. It's going to be tipped away by Dean. Returned back to him by Taylor, and Dean goes in for the easy layup.
Great defense once again, getting them deep into the shot clock, forcing them into a tough shot, and then able to get the rebound and get out in transition.
Into the corner goes Neal. Looking to take on Dean one-on-one. He drives baseline. Good help defense by Mills. No good on the follow-up, but a couple of more chances for the Cougars, as Howard now struggling on the defensive glass themselves.
Frederick is doing what they need to do without their leading scorer. You know, they're trying to be scrappy, get some second chance opportunities. I credit them for how hard they're playing right now.
Witherspoon backing in. Bowie gets called for the holding foul. His first. Frederick will now bring in Solomon Hillman for the first time. 6'5" freshman forward out of Washington, D.C. And another foul against Howard. It's going to be Mills this time. And Mills with 2 fouls. He knows where he's going to, as Wilson will immediately come in. There was never a doubt that from Mills that he was going right to the bench, picking up his second foul.
Yeah, definitely want to give him a break. 2 fouls early in the first half. Don't want a chance leaving him out there picking up a quick third.
Second consecutive game Mills has had to sit for most of the first half in foul trouble. Howard will have to deal without having their All-American in there. Owusu, jump stop, decides to pass it off. Witherspoon taking on Enriquez. Off-balance shot, that's no good. Rebounded by Wilson. Bowie brings the ball up the court. Now we'll slow things down. Wilson will pop up to take the pass. Taylor had a look at a three-pointer, but decides to pull it down instead. Trying to get inside to Wilson, does turn and look. What a play by Omich Wilson.
Great patience there. Shane could have shot that shot, but he turned it down, able to reward the big man inside. He's been working hard on the glass. Let him get a touch on offense.
Baseline jumper by Bryson Boyd. That's no good, and Taylor was out of bounds with his back foot. Couple more substitutions, as it's going to be Maxwell Harriday making his debut in the game for the Cougars, as will John Thomas for the Dragons.
John brings a little bit of a sparkle on offense. Really good shooter. He's been competing on defense as well.
This is Hillman. Gives it up to Owusu. Owusu will restart from the wing. Pulls up, blocked away by Bowie, but it's going to go right into the hands of Hillman. Now Hillman is going to try to back down Thomas. Shot from the free throw line and is able to bank that in.
Make sure he goes to church on Sunday. Great defense, but, you know, tough shot. He was able to drop it in. He's living right.
Wilson flips it over to Bowie. Taylor from the top of the key. And Thomas will restart with 10 on the shot clock. Thomas going right at Hillman. Off-balance shot is going to be rebounded by Harriday. Cougars look to push the pace. Witherspoon behind the back. Layup, that's no good, and a foul will be called.
Thought that was a little bit late whistle there. And, you know, I know John wasn't able to cash in on the layup, but I've been really impressed by Howard's patience on offense. They've been running the shot clock down, taking some time off the clock, and really getting the looks that they want to get.
So that will be the second foul on Omich Wilson. It looks like Dean is going to be checking in for him, as both of the Howard starting forwards in some foul trouble in this first half. Witherspoon puts that one up and in, and it will indeed be Dean for Wilson.
Howard's really going to have to gang rebound here. A lot of their size is now on the bench. Got to make sure they're boxing out, and the guards are helping come rebound.
Arrington will return to the game for the Cougars as well, as Howard going with a 5-guard formation here. Witherspoon makes the second one. So we'll see if the small lineup of the Dragons can hold on for the next 6 minutes. Enriquez from the top of the key gets through and is going to be fouled. Count the basket.
That's his game right there, getting to the rim, finishing around the rim. He also has a nice mid-range game as well. He could have taken the three, but good decision to take it to the rim.
It's never easy if you're a known three-point shooter. You know, anytime you want to get that shot, you have that look. It's like, all right, I'm going to let it fly. But you're right. Shane Taylor's done a good job of not just forcing the three-pointer. 4 assists already in this game, really being an effective playmaker for the Dragons.
Absolutely, sharing the ball very well on offense.
Enriquez does complete the three-point play. 13 points for Emmanuel Enriquez, outscoring the entire Frederick team alone. With 5.5 remaining in this first half.
He's had an outstanding first half.
Skip pass over, Owusu. Witherspoon, and offensive charge for Witherspoon as he's pushed off on the play. Christian Dean forces the turnover.
Great job by Christian beating him to the spot. You know, Christian's a true freshman, but I've been impressed by his play. He's been getting some more minutes as of late, and he's been definitely doing his thing with those minutes.
Dean is one of those players where he just has that sneaky value. It might not always show up as a flashy on the scoreboard, but man, he provides a lot of value to Howard.
Absolutely.
Part of that value, he just got the third foul on Witherspoon. What a play. John Thomas count the basket and the foul.
Great pass by Christian. Good finish by John. Christian has really provided a spark since he's checked back in after Omich Wilson picked up his second foul. He's picked up the offensive charge call, made a great give-and-go pass to John Thomas just now for the and-one play.
And this is a coaching staff that really believes in Dean. I remember when they were playing at Baltimore City recently, the first 2 possessions in a row, Dean turned the ball over. And, some players, you might think you got to bring him out of the game, but no, they said, all right, they left with Christian Dean. They believed in him. Had a huge impact in that second half, almost carried the team single-handedly in the second half of that game.
Absolutely. He's a gamer. That kid is a hooper. He's ready to play at all times.
Terrell Neal with a strong layup on the other side, just coast to coast, as Howard didn't get back on defense quick enough on that one. Bowie goes up with that. That's going to be rebounded by Frederick. Fadeaway jumper with the one-handed floater. That's no good. Another rebound for Dean. He'll push up to Taylor. Taylor will go with it. And almost, no, they're going to say that foul is on the floor. We've already seen basket in the foul multiple times for Howard in this first half. But that is going to be the 7th foul against the Cougars, so Taylor will be at the line for 1-and-1.
Howard's been putting a lot of pressure on that Frederick defense. They've been able to get in the paint, get out in transition. They've been on the offensive glass, and they've been rewarded by now being able to get to the free throw line.
Taylor, one of the top free throw shooters on the team at 80%, misses the first one, barely hit the rim on that.
And look who gets another possession for Howard, Mr. Christian Dean.
Held ball, the arrow points Howard's way, and the Dragons will call a 30-second timeout. Coach Mike Smelton never wanting to waste a timeout, knowing you got to get that first timeout in, otherwise it's use it or lose it. So he'll use it now to try to draw up a inbound play underneath the basket. So if you're the Frederick Cougars right now, you're shooting 20% from the floor. You haven't made a single three-pointer. You've been having trouble on the defensive end. You've been fouling. What do you do with the Cougars to try to turn this thing around?
Honestly, it has to start on defense. They have to get some stops. If they can get some stops and rebounds and trying to get out in transition to try to get something easy, they've been really struggling having to go against this set Howard defense. So they got to try to beat the defense down the floor to try to get some easy baskets, and hopefully that will build some confidence and get the rim getting a little bigger for them.
It will be Bowie underneath the basket. To Dean in the corner. Dean, three-pointer, that's no good. Rebounded by Arrington. Arrington gets around Bowie, initiates some contact. Now we'll dish it off to Turner. His shot is good. What a play by Arrington to create that, and a good finish by Turner.
And that's what we're talking about. They got the ball up quick, trying to get something going before the defense really gets a chance to get set. See if they can get another stop here. I know Howard's going to be patient and try to get a good look on offense.
Bowie Comes off of the pick. Thomas, he'll shoot a three-pointer from long range. Nothing but net. John Thomas gets on the board.
John Thomas, the beautiful jump shot. He has a really nice jumper. When he's ready to shoot the ball, he brings a lot for them on offense when he's making good decisions.
Dragons showing off the depth right now, as that is going to be a traveling violation by Neal. Another turnover for the Cougars. 7th of the first half. Howard with 8 different scorers so far in this first half.
Very balanced attack for the Dragons right now. They've made a run since they've got this 5-guard offense here, too.
You think they should stick with it a little bit more often? Go small a little?
When they can. I'm sure Andrew and Omiki won't like that.
Good defense by Turner, able to force the ball out. Without Witherspoon on the court right now, not a lot of scoring for the Cougars as Dean turns that over, but he will fight back to get it and at least force the arrow to be flipped again.
Christian Dean in the middle of the action once again.
So yeah, right now for season averages, you've got Arrington, who's averaging 13 points a game, and Neal with 14 points a game on the court. They're really your primary scorers that are left on the court. But you're talking about 2 20-point scorers not on the court right now, with Witherspoon on the bench and Morrissey absent today. And it's going to draw a charge again from Dean.
Again, great job, Christian. Way to be in help early, having his feet set, ready to take that charge. That's just such a great momentum play. You know, you get the ball back for your team. You pick up a foul on the other team. And that's just selfless. You're willing to give up your body for the team. Great play by Christian.
That's going to be Neal's 3rd foul, and he has to come out. But time for one of my favorite rants. The best play that you can make on defense, what is it? It's taking the charge. Not only are you forcing the turnover, but also you're getting a foul on the other player. Where is the stat to say that they get credit for that?
They definitely need to add one. It's a very underrated stat in basketball, and a lot of people aren't willing to put their body on the line like that.
It is the hardest play, the most difficult play, the most painful one, and the biggest impact, and there is no stat to give them credit for it. At least give them a steal, give them something. There's got to be some credit for taking a charge. It drives me absolutely crazy.
I agree. Maybe if they start giving out stats, my girls will take more of them.
Exactly. That's all they want. They want to look at the box score and see how good their name looks next to it, right?
We did, yeah. We did try to take one today. We weren't able to get one, though. Good bucket there by Emmanuel Henriquez.
Henriquez, again, showing off his versatility. He's been hitting them from outside and inside. Strong to Burke. Going up with it, but it's going to be fouled by Thomas. Got a piece of the ball, but also got some body in there as well.
Yeah, number 10 did a great job of being low, able to turn the corner right there and keeping John on his hip, forcing them to have to foul there.
You can tell Burke has the handles. He was able to get around the defense well. And again, when you're talking about you're struggling offensively, somebody's got to step up and make a play, and Burke was really trying to do so. Misses the first free throw. Davis will come back in for Frederick, returning some size for them. And for the Dragons, it will be Cole Harshman getting in the game for the first time, replacing Henriquez. Burke with his 2nd attempt. Misses the second one as well. And that's tough when you're down and can't even make a free throw.
Yeah, I think they're having to expend so much energy on offense, you know, because the Howard defense is playing them so tough and so tight. You know, it leaves your legs a little bit fatigued, and he left those short there.
Harshman getting it at the top of the key. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bowie will try to roll through it, and an offensive foul is called as Harshman gets called for the moving pick. Burke brings the ball down the court for the Cougars. Trying to direct traffic, asking for a screen. Nobody is there. He'll just go instead. Turner with the corner 3. That's going to be short. Rebounded by Dean, and then he's pushed off the ball.
Great help there by Shane Taylor, closing out to that shot in the corner. giving a good contest. They're not leaving anything open, making sure they're contesting all shots. Everyone's on the glass as well.
So Burke picks up his first foul. And you've got Dean at the line. Dean, an 80% free throw shooter, but he's only attempted 10 free throws on the year, misses the first on the 1-and-1, and then gets called for the foul as he reached in, and that is not what the Howard coaching staff wanted to see, as they were just telling their players to get back.
Absolutely, and now I'm not the only one who gave the commentators drinks.
So Howard, their 9th foul of the half, so that will put the Cougars on the line. Owusu coming in as just a 44% free throw shooter. Makes the first one.
Good looking stroke there.
Howard coaching staff was thrilled with keeping Montgomery to 22 points in the first half on Friday. Have to imagine if they can keep the Cougars under 20 points, that would be another feather in their cap, so to speak.
Absolutely outstanding defense.
Harshman, the three-point shooter, turns and takes a look at it. No good, but Shane Taylor follows it up with the tip-in. 38-17, Howard lead in this first half. Davis, turnaround jumper, that's no good, a little bit short. Rebounded by Dean. Taylor pushes the pace, pulls it back, jumper, and he hits it. Everyone feeling it for Howard right now. Taylor up to 7 points.
Absolutely, pretty play there.
Burke drives inside, gives it up. Arrington, he's gonna let loose a three-pointer. That's no good, rebounded by Dean. Taylor to Thomas, and another fast break layup for the Dragons.
That's what coaches love to see on the fast break. No dribbles, way to give the ball up and way to run the floor hard. I think John was looking for an alley-oop there.
Yeah, he was looking for a high. He wanted to put the highlight reel dunk down. 1 second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Burke will try for three. That is good. So the Cougars do get to 20 points. Howard can now hold for last shot. Bowie. Turnaround jumper. That's going to be blocked by Owusu.
And
Christian Dean, count the basket.
Great follow there.
So the Dragons will take a 44-20 lead into halftime. An amazing half for the Dragons. We'll take a quick break and be back with you after this break. Back in action here in Frederick, Maryland, as the Howard Dragons leading 45-20 over the hometown Cougars. Mark Winkle bringing the action as Howard will start with the ball in the second half in their road black uniforms. Home Beach Wilson going 1 versus 2 in the paint, misses on that. Rebounded by Witherspoon. Shot there, that's gonna be no good. Going back the other way. Howard going with it as Jalen Bowie found wide open on the pass by Mills. Cougars could not get back in time on the transition defense. Burke picks it up at the top of the key, taking on Bowie. Arrington going one-on-one versus Taylor. He'll pull up for the jumper. It gets that to rattle home. Arrington making his first basket of the game, his first points of the game for a player averaging 13 points a game. Cougars certainly need a lot more scoring out of him in the second half. Bowie will go up with it. That's no good. Arrington on the rebound. Burke goes at Bowie, puts up the layup. That's no good. Foul is called. I'm not sure. They're going to call it on the initial shot. So for Bowie, that's going to be his second foul. Becoming the third Howard player with 2 fouls each. Burke going to the line. He's 0 for 2 from the free throw line in this game. And is able to make the first. Howard shot 50% from the field in the first half. For Frederick, 22%. Burke lines up the second one, hits it. Mills comes around to Wilson. Bowie. Mills from the top of the key. He's going to get aggressive with it. Turnaround fadeaway jumper. That's no good. Rebounded by Arrington. Arrington, three-pointer from the wing. No good, but what a follow-up dunk by Mike Davis as he slams it down, giving the hometown crowd something to cheer about. Bowie tries to return it to Mills. That's going to be turned over. Neal going up with it. Neal lays it up and in. And Coach Mike Smelkinson of the Dragons will call the quick timeout as it's been a rough start to this second half for Howard. It'll be a full timeout. We will take a quick break and be back with you after this. Action after the full timeout for Howard, trying to settle things down for the Dragons. Frederick coming out with some momentum in the second half, trying to make a run and cut into this deficit. Taylor finds Mills at the top of the key. We haven't seen him shoot a three-pointer all game, and there it is. 1 for 1 as Mills knocks it down. Burke, he'll pull it up. That's going to be tipped by Mills. And going up with it and in is Arrington, as Howard got caught watching the ball a little bit after the block and didn't recover on the offensive rebound for the Cougars. Enriquez able to turn and look. Burke called for the foul. That is going to be his second. And Enriquez catches a break and gets 2 free throws out of it. It looked like he was trying to pass on it, but because he was up in the air, the referees are going to give him the free throws as if he was shooting. Makes the first one. Emmanuel Enriquez, the star of the first half. He had 15 points, including 2 for 2 from the 3-point range. Enriquez, 3 for 3 from the free throw line now. Arrington from the top of the key, looking to take on Taylor behind the back. Taylor's still there. Now it's going to be Witherspoon. He's trying to take on Wilson. Burke will kick it away. A great attempt by Davis to try to keep it in, but just slides out as his momentum carried him out of bounds. And it's going to be a turnover for the Cougars. 16:30 left in this second half. Howard holding on to a 22-point lead over the Cougars. Wilson will pop up to take the pass from outside the arc. Mills. Taylor looking to get around the edge. Good defense by Neal to shut the door, but it's going to be a fadeaway jumper from the corner. My goodness, Shane Taylor is feeling it today. He's up to 9 points. Burke looking to work inside. Neal comes off of the screen, gives it back up to Neal. Burke will try again. And up and in it goes. Mike Davis, beautiful play. Mills gives it to Bowie. Missed on that. Mills follows it up, and it's good. Neal, as Enriquez came off of Neal for just a second, and Neal saw the opening, took advantage, and able to lay it up and in off the glass. Good patience move by Terrell Neal. He is up to 9 points, leading the Cougars in scoring. Howard crowding up around the top of the key. Mills looking to take his man on one-on-one, dishes it off to Wilson, and Wilson scoops it in. Good move by Andrew Mills to open up the play, and Meach Wilson finishes strong around the basket. Wilson up to 6 points on the game. Going to be work down low to Davis. Davis going to try to take on Mills. One-on-one, strong move up and in. Mike Davis taking advantage of the size advantage over Mills, puts it in. Davis up to 6 points. Mills from the top of the key. Finds Enriquez on the wing. He'll look to dribble towards the middle. Arrington's all over him. Gets some help defense now as he lost control of the ball. Enriquez, corner two. That's no good. Cougars will move the ball back down the other way. Neal, one-on-one, takes it on. No good. Enriquez falls down and is going to be called for the traveling violation. Haraday comes in for the Cougars as they'll replace Davis, and Enriquez will get a quick break for Howard as Dean comes back into the game. Arrington from the wing, looking to take on Taylor, but Taylor has been smothering him defensively. Neal off-balance jumper, no good. Mills with the rebound. Wilson from the top of the key. Bowie gets it back to Mills. Mills has a chance to look at basket. Usually is where he likes to get aggressive one-on-one. He will pull it back for the jumper. That's good. Andrew Mills was in foul trouble in the first half, getting a little bit more freedom to show off in the second half. He's up to 7 points. This is Richard Burke dribbling around, finds Witherspoon. Witherspoon trying to make a play one-on-one. A lot of contact there, is able to fight through the contact and put it in. A good move by Malik Witherspoon. Back and forth we go now as the ball is starting to find the bottom of the net more and more in this second half. Bowie lob pass into Mills, but Mills rushed the shot up and missed everything. Burke going back the other way. Passing into Arrington on the back cut. Witherspoon back to Arrington. Arrington will pull up from the free throw line. That's no good. Tough defense by Taylor. And Dean gets the rebound. Poked out of bounds, and that will allow a couple more substitutions, one from each side as Davis comes back in for Frederick. Short rest for him. And Bowie will take the bench as Jaden Johnson gets some playing time for Howard. As Malik Witherspoon is going to have to come out right now as there's blood on his uniform. Tough loss for any amount of time. Referees saying that the Cougars have 20 seconds after the trainer starts working on him. Referee is now telling everybody to check themselves to make sure they're not bleeding. A nice public service announcement going out from the Zebra squad. Gives us a chance to take a look at both teams' future schedules for Howard. They will be traveling to Garrett this weekend, Saturday on February 10th, tipping off at 3 o'clock. For the Cougars, they're going to have another tough game against Montgomery College on Saturday as well. So big day of basketball on Saturday for the region. A lot of good games going on. Taylor facing up with Neal. Johnson. Wilson, skip pass to Taylor. Howard moving the ball well around the perimeter. Wilson inside, great pass by Dean and finds him again. The jump pass from Dean. Open it up for Wilson. Witherspoon back the other way with his cleaned up uniform, misses on that. Taylor for three, that's no good. Tipped out to Mills. He'll pass it into Dean. Dean is able to lay it in. Christian Dean up to 6 points with 11 rebounds. The scrappy freshman guard out of Elk Ridge, Maryland continues to be an impact player for the Dragons. Burke looking to make a play. Neal too easy as he is able to go up through. Andrew Mills not able to step in the way. Taylor looking to get around Burke. A lot of contact. Taylor's now going to turn around and shoot. That's no good. Dean with the offensive rebound and puts it in. Christian Dean up to 8 points. Neal going up with it. He's been driving over and over. Rebounded by Dean. Johnson trying to get around Burke. And is going to be able to draw the foul. And now the referees are going to say the basket counts on the goaltending. So count the basket. Foul will go to Burke. That's going to be his third. As we will see a ton of substitutions from both sides. Johnson looking to finish the three-point play, does so, and it is going to be now 69-40 in favor of the Dragons. Owusu just came into the game, pulls up jumper, no good. And a foul is going to be called on the floor. A couple of players on the ground, one from each team. We'll see who the foul is called on. And it will go against the Dragons as Ryan Conway called for the foul. And 5 seconds is called as Owusu couldn't find anybody to pass it into. Johnson will slowly bring the ball up the court, getting instructions from the coaching staff. Conway pulls it out. Mills will let one loose for three. No good. Push from behind, and yeah, the referee will see that one. That foul will go up against Terrell Neal, and that will be his 4th foul of the game. Big decision for the Frederick coaching staff, how to handle one of their star players being on 4 fouls. See what Coach Darryl Witten decides to do. Letting him play right now. Enriquez inside. Dean, pump fake. Now puts it up. That's good. Christian Dean up to a double-double. 10 points, 14 rebounds. And that's an easy call for the referee as Enriquez was reaching around and making contact and just made that too easy for the referee. His first foul. Team's 3rd in the second half. Top of the key, Neal. Comes around the screen, and it's going to be an offensive foul. The moving screen from Mike Davis. First foul called against Davis in this game. And the 3rd time Christian Dean has been the recipient of an offensive foul. Drawing it, Dean pulls it back. Enriquez wide open from the top of the key, no good on the three-pointer. And Dean will be called for the foul going after it. Once again, we see the referees starting play before substitutions are completed. Saw it happen in the women's game as well. Owusu. Neal. They're trying to get it inside, looking for Bryson Boyd. Witherspoon goes up with it, no good, but is able to tip it in on his own attempt. Witherspoon is up to 10 points. Conway loses control of it, stolen away by Solomon Hillman. Hillman looks to float it up, somehow gets to Witherspoon and count the basket. Foul is called against Mills. That is going to be his 3rd, as we will now see John Thomas replacing Mills. And it will be Witherspoon with a chance to complete the three-point play. Misses the... Boyd with the offensive rebound, misses on his attempt. It's going to be rebounded by the Dragons. Johnson to start it up. Pass it to Thomas in the corner. That's no good. Rebounded by Witherspoon, going the other way. Hillman goes one-on-one. Good move. Misses on the layup, though. Couldn't quite finish it. And it's going to be a foul as Thomas able to pull down the rebound, and Hillman called for the foul. Conway. Brings it up the court. Dean getting around his man, going up with it, and a foul will be called. Dean's awarded for his aggressiveness. Give the foul to Bryson Boyd. That's going to be his first. And Dean goes to the line shooting 2. Dean is just 0 of 1 for the day. Is a 80% free throw shooter on the year. Misses the first. We will see Cole McKeever come back into the game. And saw him get some good minutes in the first half. Dean on the second attempt. That one's good. Neal getting around the screen. A good play. Terrell Neal has been really trying to bring the team back by himself. He's up to 13 points leading the Cougars. And he's doing it by getting to the rim over and over. That time coming off the screen of Witherspoon. Conway for 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Enriquez. And a foul will be called after the offensive rebound by Enriquez, and it's going to be Hillman once again. Thomas at the line shooting 2. 63% free throw shooting a year, makes the first. And hits the second. McGeever tries to get inside, and it's not going to be completed. Boyd couldn't get a handle on it. Johnson. Working inside. Johnson pulls up for the jumper. Nice play by Jaden Johnson. Able to dribble around the screen, find just enough of an opening to pull up and hit it. Neal gonna try to go with the same play that worked before. This time he is stopped. Kicks it out to Hillman this time. That's gonna be a 3-pointer that hits nothing. Neal tried to get the rebound, instead flips it to Conway. Johnson wide open 3-pointer, it's good. Neal quickly going the other way, trying to catch Howard off guard, and does a good job of forcing the issue enough. Call goes against Conway. That's going to be his third. And it will be Neal at the line shooting 2. 1 for 2 from the free throw line on the day. Misses the first. See a couple of substitutions as Cougars bring in Mike Williams, first time we've seen him today, and for the Dragons, Zachariah Chin gets in the game. Neal hits the second. Johnson gets it into Enriquez. Good move to get around his man. A lot of contact, no foul called, but it's going to be given away. And what a play by Manuel Enriquez, able to put it in. Witherspoon, pump fake, he goes up with it, and that's good. Nice move by him, and give the assist to Mike Williams. He gets on the stat sheet. 5 minutes left as the result of this game is not really much in question, just getting through it as Enriquez will get called for the travel. And that will be his last action of the game, likely, as Enriquez will hit the bench with Colin Harshman taking his spot. Witherspoon looking to back his man down and does so successfully. Witherspoon, he's up to 16 points. He's exploded in this second half. Johnson comes around the screen of Harshman. Crossover move, gets it to Chin, three-pointer, that's no good. A little strong on that. Neal going back the other way, gives up to Witherspoon, and his layup is no good. Harshman on the rebound. Thomas kicks it out. Johnson wide open for three. That's going to go off the mark. Rebounded by Witherspoon. Picked off by Thomas. Howard 3-on-1 breakaway going the other way as Johnson tried to return it to Thomas for the alley-oop, but it's stolen away by Williams going the other way, and it's going to be a foul as Neal went down hard. Foul will go against Harshman, his second. Neal shooting two, makes the first. And is able to knock down the second. Timeout will be called by the Cougars, and it will be a 30-second timeout. This was a game that started out in the first few seconds with a Frederick lead as they scored the first basket 3 seconds in. Howard took the lead 2 minutes later and have not looked back since. And it's just what the Dragons do best. They just have ways of making other teams look like they're having a bad day. And they just do it through relentless defense and a slow, methodical offense that just wears other teams out. 3:46 left in this second half. Dragons will look to just try to run this clock down. Harshman from behind the arc. Finds Conway. Conway is able to get through his man. Layup is no good. Back the other way. And a good layup there by Maxwell Haraday. Give the assist to Williams as he's picked up a couple of those in the second half. Conway able to get it through his man. This time it's going to be Johnson. Wide open three-pointer from the corner. That's good. Jaden Johnson up to 14 points. Will Rodriguez will come into the game for Frederick as he'll get his first action and close out the last few minutes. Rodriguez gets right in there and lets one loose. That one misses. Chin with the rebound. Harshman. He'll decide to let one go. That one's no good. And that is going to be a foul against the Dragons. Chin was called for the foul on the backside of the play, on the hold, and it will be a one-on-one. They'll make the first. With the win, the Dragons will keep their reign on top of the Region 20 standings at 8-1. Frederick, they will fall to 3-6 as they will have to keep fighting to earn a spot in the top 8 to get into a playoff spot. As we will see CJ Dug come into the game. And for the Dragons, that will mean they will go up to 20 wins, and it will be the 4th straight season that Howard has gotten to the 20-win mark under the leadership of head coach Mike Smelkerson since he returned to Howard. Conway able to dart his way through, somehow was able to get it up and in. Stolen away by Johnson. Johnson the other way, he's gonna throw it up, that's no good. Fight for the rebound goes to Harshman, that one's gonna be blocked. And Howard keeps possession. Thomas drives into the lane and will be called for the foul. Will be the Cougars. Rodriguez called for that one, his first. Thomas 3 for 3 from the line in this game. Misses that one. As Randolph Johnson will now come in as Frederick looks to empty out their bench. Thomas makes the second. 87-57 in favor of the Howard Dragons. Rodriguez tries to bring it inside. That ball gets flipped up into the air. Gives it to Johnson into the corner. Witherspoon drives the lane. Witherspoon able to put it up and in. Malik Witherspoon up to 18 points, leading the Cougars. Strong game for him, 8 of 15 from the floor, 7 rebounds. Chin to Conway. Chin will drive the baseline, goes into traffic, and is going to be called for the foul. He'll get to the free throw line. Rodriguez called for the foul. He'll get his second. And that will give Chin a chance. He is 100% from the free throw line and no longer. He was 2 of 2 before that coming into this game and able to make the second one at least. .44 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock, so Howard will have to let one more go. Thomas to Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. As Thomas will just let the shot clock run. Three-pointer from Duguay, no good. Thomas and Conway fighting with each other for the rebound. Thomas says, that's my ball. He will hold on to it. And that will do it for us as the Howard Dragons will take an 88-59 win over the Frederick Cougars. Taking a quick look at the final stat sheet. Emmanuel Enriquez leads all scorers with 19 points as he continues to increase his impact for these Howard Dragons. From there, it was bench points galore for Howard. 14 for Jaden Johnson, 11 for John Thomas, 11 for Christian Dean, 9 for Shane Taylor, 8 for Omich Wilson, 7 for Andrew Mills, as there was 10 different scorers in the game for Howard. On the Frederick side of things, it was 2 players that really had good games. Malik Witherspoon, 18 points on 8 of 15 shooting. And Terrell Neal, he had 18 points as well, 6 of 14, 5 rebounds, and 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Mike Davis had 6, Richard Burke had 5, Jaden Arrington with 4. So that will do it for us here in Frederick, Maryland. We appreciate your attention to the game and your support all year long, and we look forward to having you next time right here on the Frederick Cougars streaming network. On behalf of everybody here at Frederick Community College, we thank you. Final score, once again, Howard Community College Dragons 88, the Frederick Cougars 59. We'll see you next time.